Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Girl Get Up podcast. I am your host, Aquarian Chancellor, and this is the podcast where I hope to inspire you, the listening audience, to go out and discover your infinite possibilities. I share my stories here. I invite guests. They come on and they share their stories, all in hopes that it inspires you, the listening audience. So before I get started, because today I got a guest. Before I get started, I just want to run down my products and my services. I am the creator of the Career Strategies for Success guidebook and the creator of the Career Strategies for the Infinite Dreamer. Together, they are the foundation of the Infinite Dreamers program. It is a career curriculum designed for youth ages 16 to 25, teaching them everything workforce related. We're talking about onboarding, resume writing, networking, personal development, everything that helps prepare your youth for the workforce. They're calling it the 21st century pipeline. Okay. So if you are a business, a decision maker, or a part of a homeschooling community, please visit my website, www.yourinfinitedirection.com, or you can email me at jones@yourinfinitedirection.com. And I will be happy to work with you. I got some proposals. We can, say we can work together. So with that, I'm going to open up my floor to my guest today, Dom of Shock the Culture and Forever Hollins Music Management. He is a music manager. And I am going to let him tell the audience who he is and what he does. Dom, the floor is yours.
The floor is mine. Hey, that was a dope, introduction to yourself and your business. Like if I was a listener and I came in, I would definitely purchase. I'd be like, oh, I might need that. I might need that. Because one thing about marketing, and selling things, you can always tell how good the product is based off how somebody talks about it. So like I've heard the enthusiasm in your voice when you talked about your product. So they must be really good, right?
Thank you. I appreciate that.
But yes, I'm Dom, owner of Forever Hollins Management and Shock the Culture. I basically specialize in marketing for, it started off marketing for artists, but I also do marketing for small businesses and entrepreneurs. So um, I've been in this field since the end of 2018. So now officially 6 years now. And I just love coming up with ideas and strategies and templates and anything that has to do with uplifting artists' brands, getting more eyes on their music, and anything that they want and need. The same with other small businesses and entrepreneurs because everyone needs marketing. So that's really what it is. Shock the Culture is basically the same thing. It's basically like a content hub, a space for um specifically artists as well. It's the platform. So, I have the management and the marketing, right? And then we have the platform. So the platform is for independent artists. We got sport or independents, entrepreneurs. We post music, money, motivation, sports, tips, anything anybody needs to push them in their everyday walk to be better in business. I don't post gossip. I don't post anything that's clickbait. I and I do that, talk about that. I do that on purpose because I don't want um like because I blog too. So I purposely don't talk about hot topics because I don't want to be boxed into that.
Mm.
And I don't like that. You know what I'm saying? So I want to separate myself because I could always say, I don't talk about that, or you don't see that on my page. Like you won't see me talking about people that got locked up or people that got arrested, or because it's not my niche. And I feel like when you bring in that audience, you have to keep feeding it. So I strategically, purposely try to stay in the lane to help artists through marketing and use content that helps them build what they have going on. So that's really what we do. We've helped artists domestically and internationally, businesses domestically and internationally as well. Help them make more money, help them grow their social media, their music, got them paid shows, podcasts, blogs, streaming numbers, brand opportunities. We've done it all here. We've done events, we've curated events. We do it all. We just threw it all in. Anything you could think of, because everything is marketing is thrown all into this, and that's what I like. We're just basically a mixing pot of marketing, management, artists. Like if you want to figure it out, or you want is no idea is too crazy. Nothing is wild. It can all work.
Okay, nothing is too crazy, huh?
Right. As
Okay.
long as it's not a gimmick, not gimmicky now, nothing like a gimmick, but a real strategy with steps.
A real strategy for that. Well, we're gonna get into what's gimmicky. What is your opinion of gimmicky? But first, before we get there, I want to talk about your experiences as a youth. What fueled you to go and what life experience as a youth fueled you to go in the direction of music and management?
um, all right, so that's actually a really good first or second question if you want to count the first one as a question. Because I never been asked that. I can date back to my earliest memories of music, maybe the first CDs I bought.
Okay, what was that? I'm
Um,
curious.
I'm gonna take you back. The first CD that I purchased with my money, you remember when you could buy the single with the edited dirty version and the instrumental?
You mean the tape, like the cassette tape? I don't know.
No, like
Maybe
the
I'm dating
CD.
myself.
No, you remember that did that too. But you remember the CD?
Nah, uh-uh.
You could get the CD for the single that's gonna be on the album, and it had the instrumental, the clean version, and dirty version. It was "Bounce with Me" by Lil Bow Wow.
Okay, okay, little bow. Okay.
So, but my first album I ever got, Don't Get Me Jay, I burnt it. My friend, he bought a CD burner, and I listened to your album over and over again. So give me credit. It was Blueprint. So
Jay-Z.
yep. So the first
Love
album I
Jay.
ever had was Jay Z Blueprint. The first CD I ever bought was Lil Bow Wow, Bounce with Me. Now I think the first CD like I ever purchased, like a full CD, WWE Aggression.
Okay.
It was WWF then. It was when, and this is marketing. This is when WWF merged with music and they did a collab album. So
Mhm.
I don't know if you remember, and I was living in New Orleans too, so that's gonna play a role. I lived in New Orleans during the 99 and the 2000s, so
Mm.
I saw it, I saw it.
You
So
know,
I saw it.
you know, immediate what song immediate came to my mind.
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah,
juvenile.
yes, that's why I did that. Yeah, and I was there when it popped off for them. So, but when WWF decided to merge the wrestlers with artists, and they all changed their theme songs to
Mhm.
promote this album. I remember my dad, shout out to my dad, us having talent shows at family reunions. Me and my brother performed one of the songs at our talent show at the family reunion. I remember being in New Orleans between 97 and 2000 and watching the rise of Cash Money and No Limit. Um, New Orleans is real community based. I feel like there was always something to do. It was so many artists. It was so many different types of culture. So it was something always going on at a park. There was always a festival. There was always somebody doing like a crawfish boil, seafood boil. I just remember those memories from being there. And then
Right.
Mardi Gras and just the culture of music. Like you fell in love with it. I mean, my first love was basketball, and I always say, like, your first love is your mom. Your second love is probably what you like outside of maybe a hobby, and then I would say like maybe your third love is a girl or but I think me it was my mom, basketball, then music, and it basketball and music just been with me all through my life, and when I began to understand how it merged, it was love. Like this is cool,
Yeah,
but
I
yeah,
remember.
just being around, always wanting to hear new music, always stand like even like you know getting my allowance, asking my dad. Like, see, this is us showing our age. Like, y'all, we couldn't if that parental advisory sticker was on the front of that album or that cassette, you had to be 17 to buy it.
Hmm.
Like I remember getting allowances and begging my dad, can you please get the Big Timers album for me? Nah, you don't need that. You probably hear them songs on the radio. Like, nah, I want this. I remember the Big Timers album with Baby and Manny Fresh. I remember like those old I had Chopper City in the Ghetto, BG. I remember 400 Degrees. I remember running that album to the dirt to where I probably know every word on that album, all the skits. Like every time I think about marketing for artists, I think about my time in New Orleans because I seen how Baby rolled his artists out, and we could talk
Mm.
about that later. But it was the perfect blueprint to the fact that almost 30 years later, all those artists are still relevant.
Right.
Like the way he built them up, like to the point where New Orleans was so behind them, like walking into CD stores and seeing all the New Orleans artists in the front and everybody else in the back, like
Mm.
uplifting. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
You can hear me?
Yep,
Yeah,
I got.
somebody called me. I should have put my phone on D. You can edit it though, right?
No, I don't edit. It's okay.
I'm sorry.
No, you good.
Um,
Don't apologize.
but yeah, I just remember just being. You got me going down memory lane, but New Orleans earliest memory of music. That's probably what New Orleans made me fall in love with music easily.
Mm,
Like the culture.
the
I mean,
culture.
we was only there for 3 years, but I think me as I got older, going back, like when we start building these campaigns and strategies for artists,
Hmm.
I think about the tangible things that I experience. And you probably do it too, like you do resume writing and business structuring for you have a niche. So you dealt with it and you probably thought about if I needed this, how would I want it presented to me?
Right.
What would make what would make this easy for me? And then you also, on top of that, you think about other people. All right, so I know other people aren't like me. How can I make this for somebody that may like it this way or that way? And then you do it that way. And then I feel like you're really good if you can hit all cylinders. You know what I'm saying? Like going back to the cassette, you only got to put it in a cassette. You only got a CD player. We're gonna give you a CD. If you still rocking with records, we're gonna give you a record. You know what I'm saying? So, yep.
I was gonna say, I remember my first cassette tape. It was when Set It Off came out, when you Brandy sitting up in my room. I don't know if it was it before that, but Brandy sitting up in my room was the first cassette tape that we had. We had got this little purple radio player for Christmas. It was our first CD player. Yep. And it was Brandy sitting up in my room.
Mm,
Okay.
okay.
So
Brandy, a legend.
yeah, she is, isn't she? Love her. Love her. So we talked about family and how important that was to you. How, when you select your artist, because as a family man, of course, you want to be conscious of who you represent, because you say no gimmicky, you don't like the gimmicky stuff. But what is the influence when you select your artist and you keep that in mind? Okay, yeah, I'm a family man and I want to be, have a not so much of an image, but yeah, somewhat. How do you select the artist that you want to work with, keeping that in mind?
You want another good question. Um, you know, I I've never went and got an artist.
Oh, so they always just gravitate to you.
I started out doing marketing.
Okay.
And whoever finds me through my marketing, I work with.
Okay.
Um, so I've never talent searched. Not as far as someone I manage. Now I've talent searched as far as people that with this is answering your question. I'm sorry. I've talent searched as far as people that I want to help market for, like that I've searched and said, "Oh, this is good. He needs this." And I've formulated something like, "Hey, your music's really dope. I saw you got this or that. Can Would you be interested in this to help grow this? Or is there something else you have in mind?" Um,
What
right
attracted you
now,
to
honestly, the music first, always.
always the music?
Um, but it's always got to be the music because if I'm putting my name on it to where I'm going to market and post and help, I don't want nobody saying, "Hey, bro, this ain't it." Now, I'll be honest, there's some artists that, you know, that may, you help out and their music isn't as good as others, but to me, that you got to take my advice. If I'm telling you, "Hey, you could have structured this song better," or your quality is not there, I feel like that's part of the reason why you asked me to help you with marketing, right? Um, and you can decide to continue after our 30-day package or not. But I've been honest with artists like, "Hey, I think you should say this," or "Hey, you should do this because it's not a good idea that you might have said this," or this sound doesn't blend. Like I've done that, but like as far as going out, it's I don't know. You know what it could be. It's definitely the music because the way that I find new music, I go through playlist and I go through what's showing up in my algorithm.
Hmm.
As far as artists you may like, because I listen to a lot of independent artists, a lot. I could probably give you 100 right off the top of my head right now of independent artists. Um, and it's the music first. It got to be
It gotta be the
because, like I said, if I'm helping you market, it's got to be the music first, and then second, it's a look, aesthetic.
mhm.
If I'm posting you and tagging your profile, when people click it, what's on your page?
Right. So that's
So
it.
as far as being yeah, so as far as being conscious,
Hmm.
I never really I've turned some people down. And the people that I turned down, they they were overly drilling in their music and overly sexual. I
Okay.
don't really want to attach. I don't want to attach myself to that. Even though I know there's artists that that do talk about it in their music, but when you overly doing it, like every line you shooting somebody or every line you having sex with somebody, like I'm not, I can't, cause I actually listen to your music to be able to help you
Mhm.
market, and if I can't digest it, then I can't effectively help you.
Mhm.
So that's the type of stuff I'm conscious of.
Yeah, and when you sent me the file, I was trying to talk around it, but I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. When you sent me the file yesterday, right? I was playing it, and my son, he's 7, he was sitting next to me, and he was just like bopping it. He's just like, and he was enjoying it. We were sitting here like listening to it,
We
and
can talk about that. Look,
I appreciate
I've
it.
never talked about that track.
Say that again.
I said we could talk about that. I've never talked about that track.
Okay, but I'll
I
say
give
this,
you
and then
exclusive.
I'll say okay. No, it's gonna be the intro. I'm gonna make it the intro of this audio. So when your interview airs, it's gonna be the intro to your interview. But
That's hard.
so I say all that to say that's the reason why I asked you that question because it didn't have any like it didn't have a whole lot of cussing and I don't even remember a cuss word was in there. So
And
that's what made,
I appreciate you recognizing that. I did that on purpose
yeah.
because um everybody is listening. I created a song to attach this, and I named it Market Your Music. And the reason why I created the song, shout out to Shy. He was the producer and the beat maker. Um the reason why I did that is because I know in the algorithm, stuff with less cussing and less vulgarity, they push through.
Mhm.
It doesn't get, it doesn't kind of get buffered. And I did that because also if you gotta I gotta think about if uh I wanted to play on TikTok, if I want it to be on the radio, if I want to ever run an ad, if I ever want to do a music video, I said I when I wrote it, I said I'm not gonna cuss. I can't cuss. It was some times where I was like, nah, I gotta pick a different word, but I purposely did not cuss so I could use it on radio, on ads, on you know what I'm saying? I did
Yeah.
that on purpose because I had that in mind when I wrote the song. So I appreciate you recognizing that, but I definitely purposely did that so I can use the song for ads. I haven't decided if I'm gonna put it on streaming platforms yet, but I literally specifically went into the booth and did that song to use on my ads. So and since I've used it on a few ads, I've gotten more responses because
Mhm.
I feel like a lot of people are audio learners and they do listen to lyrics, and I purposely rap that way with clarity so you can hear exactly what I'm saying. And I put the captions on the ads so you can read it too. So I had strategy behind it.
Yeah. Yeah, but we
So
enjoyed it. We enjoyed it. Which brings me
I
to my
appreciate
next
it.
question. Yeah, oh, absolutely. It brings me to my next question. With the youth that's coming up, and there's so many misconceptions of what independent artistry is, what we see on TikTok, what we see on Instagram, what we see on social media. A lot of the you use the term gimmicky stuff with the women, drugs, and sex, and thinking that that's the only thing that the industry is. Could you shed some light on some misconceptions about music and the hip hop industry and being an independent artist and managing independent artists?
All right. So it's not the only thing. That's a misconception. Any young artist listening to this right now, I don't want you to think that the only way you can make it is doing that. There's people that make a lot of money in music not doing that. A lot of the people that y'all look up to that do that type of music, they're in 360 deals. They're being owned by the label to where they have to make music like that.
Mhm.
And um a lot of times they don't want to make music like that, but they sign contracts and they have to. You see the stories in the content now of artists talking about I didn't like that song, but they label liked it. You know, work on building your core. T-Pain said something on his podcast that I actually clipped up and posted. If you create something and you like it, it's 8 billion people in the world. If you can get at least 100 people to like it too, and be your core, you can make a good living.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Like you could build community around your music and be fine. But I think what the problem is, a lot of artists want the fame.
Mhm.
Like you could tell an artist that they're good enough to make money off their music, and these are the steps to do it, and they won't do it. They would rather take take the route that'll make them famous, even
Okay.
though it may not make them money. But myself, I recognize that I have conversations because one of the first questions I ask artists is, "What's your goal in this?" And then I gear my marketing towards that.
Mhm.
But you know, the misconception in that is, I think people think that that's only music. We are in an era, also, and this could be a clip. Another before I get into my point, rap isn't trash and hip hop isn't trash. What they're putting in your face is trash.
Yeah.
We are in an era right now where we can control our algorithm and control what we listen to. If you have trash in your face, you're clicking on it. You're watching it. Your phone and your timeline is ran off of what your interests are. So if you are constantly getting twerk videos and people killing and shooting on your timeline, that's your fault. A
Mm.
lot of people don't want to admit what it is. Your whole existence of your social media blueprint is the stuff that you like. They're not gonna put nothing on your timeline that you're not interested in. So if they do, you have the choice to put not interested. I don't want to see this again.
Right.
You can build your timeline to your liking. You can build your Spotify to your interests. You can build your Apple to what you like. You don't have to listen to the radio. I just think a lot of consumers, a lot of artists are lazy to where they think that they have to listen to the radio or they have to only listen to what's on the popular page. If you like a certain type of music, you can literally go type it in and
Right.
say lyrical rappers, old school R&B, cussing music, Afro beats, gospel, Christian rap. You can go do this. So anybody that complains about music to me, you're lazy.
Mm.
I've never complained about music because I never will. You can go listen to what you want to.
Right.
The only people that complain about music, yes, the only people that complain about music is the people that don't know how to search it for it and find it. And this goes into our selling point. And shout out to my boy Kirk. He does shot the culture with me. That's why we're about to get into more of the curation because I understand that. I understand consumers are lazy. So we're gonna put the good music right in your face. We're gonna curate good music right in your face for you. And that's coming too. But that's the misconception that all rap, the only way you can make it is killing and sexing people. No, there's it because as much as you didn't like it, before you thought you had to do it, there's millions of people that feel that way.
Mm-hmm.
Think about this Kendrick and Drake beef. People got tired of them beefing. Y'all asked for hip hop heads asked for the beef. Oh, I love the rapping. I love it. People got tired of it
Quick.
until the end. People start they dissing each other every day now. Come on, bro. I need something else.
Right.
You
But you
you
know
you
what?
you know
That
what I'm saying? So
But the consumption of music now is like quick. And you just said the perfect word because we're always looking for that next best thing. And it's a lot of competition in the game. And I think it pretty much this industry, period, even in podcasts and in any type of media, because again, people want to be in front of the camera. They want to be seen. They want to make those connections. My question to you is, we see now that, to me, in my opinion, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't see a whole lot of albums being made anymore. I see a lot of people consuming singles and streaming. How has that innovation changed the game as far as marketing music?
it's made it easier.
Okay.
It's easier to market a single. These are really good questions, by the way. Um, but it's made it easier. It's easier to market a single, and if you want to get deep, um, it it's easier to market a single than it is an album.
Mhm.
And what a lot of artists are doing too, they're creating albums off of all their singles. So
Yeah.
let's say, see, we get in the lab, you get with me. Um, we do we do 10 dope bangers, right? Back to back to back to back, right? Numbers go crazy. I'm a package. You might have an artist where they package that into an album now,
Hmm.
and you get those streaming numbers. They
Yeah.
don't go towards your first week, but they count towards your album streams. And then you package that. Hey, my album streamed this many times when in actuality it was the singles that streamed that many times that you packaged into an album. So I think the singles and I actually, I see a lot of the older artists saying that people don't make albums anymore, but the albums that are created, I want to ask because I heard Beyonce say that,
Hmm.
and even Beyonce's albums, most of the albums sound like playlists or an experience.
Hmm. Okay.
Think
Okay.
about think about a new album. If it's
Hmm.
not single driven, it's a playlist or an experience, right? So like back then, like we were just talking about 400 degrees, like it was good songs and it was cohesive with
Okay.
skits. I think that people are getting back to that. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And it sounded like I remember listening to and I listened to 400 degrees all the way through recently. It feels like it felt like I was in New Orleans. The skits, the live skits, the live some of the tracks that were live,
Uh-huh.
it felt like I was in the studio with them. And I think people are getting back to that. So if you drop in an album, it's either like a playlist
Hmm.
of multiple songs and or it's an experience.
Okay. So here's my answer to that because it's a two-part. I feel like other genres of music never stopped making albums. And I say country music is one of them. I can remember, I don't care how many times throughout the last, I would just say 10 years that I've been in Walmart or Target, I've always seen either gospel on the shelf or country on the shelf. I mean, I can't get around that. But my other question today, because you said it brought back a feeling, the 400 degrees brought back a feeling of being in New Orleans again. Do you feel like the local community will always support that artist?
No, they don't do it now.
You
That's
don't
the
think
that's
so?
the problem. That's
Okay.
the problem. Well, where are you from?
I'm from the DMV area,
Oh,
DC.
that's hard. You in DC right now?
Yeah.
We might have to chat after this.
Okay.
Cause I have some artists I'm dealing with in that area. I have you wanna know what's funny? I have shout out to the Twin Kings. I'm managing them. They're in the DMV area.
I didn't know that.
And
I know one of them, one person is.
and then Antoine is in that area too. Shout out to Antoine Stewart. He's a Christian rapper.
Yeah.
Um, they're in that area. So, but I don't want to say everybody. Where I'm at, I feel like there's this aura that the local artists don't get support,
Okay.
but I think it's because everyone thinks rap is a competition.
Okay.
It independent artists think that it's a competition. If me and you rap, I think a lot of artists think that I'm in competition with C to get out of where I'm at. When in
Right.
actuality, we could be bouncing off of each other. There's a videographer in your city. There's somebody that make beats. There's somebody that can produce, that can engineer. There's somebody that takes dope pictures. There's people that got a dope studio. There's people that have vision. And I think everybody needs to bounce off of each other and be humble to the fact that there may be some artists that are ahead of you
Mm-hmm.
that y'all should drive and push collectively and get them out of here, because what's going to happen, they're going to remember you. And it's like sports. If we all on the team and my dog averaging 30 and he go D1 and those scouts come to the game, we all going to get looked at too.
Right.
I don't think artists think about that. Like, if it's all love and you have the choice to make this from the beginning, if somebody's solid, if they not, if they a snake from the origin of this, you uplift that person, get them out of here, they gonna look back and help and support. It happens in sports. If Dominique makes the league, he gotta donate to his high school. He
Yeah.
gotta donate to his college. He would be crazy if he didn't make millions and millions of dollars and didn't come give back to where it all started, right?
Right. Absolutely.
Now, if you feel like everybody does that, I think that's crazy. And I hope you get over that evil believing or that spirit that it doesn't. But I'm pretty sure I know it does happen when people do that. But if there's somebody that you feel could get over that hump and the whole city gets behind them and uplift them, if you want to get a deal or if you want to be in the industry, those labels and those people that are in those rooms are only gonna go, where you from? Is there more of those like you? Where's that farm at? Show me. Let me see what y'all got.
Right.
It's happened in all the hubs. I mean, with rap starting in New York, how y'all think all the other hubs around the United States got started?
Right.
By people getting together, uplifting the artists, uplifting, because people are wanting to say, oh, bro, from, because think about when people make it. Oh, he from the city. Oh,
Right.
he from the city. Oh, he from where? He right from down the street. Oh, I went to da 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 with bro.
Yeah.
Like people want to do that. They want to do that. So the support is there, but I feel like there's that story in every city, and then there's a story of people that don't support. So pouring behind the artist, like being humble or I, realistic enough to understand that, bruh, like let's push behind bro, or understanding your role in something. You might not be that good of a rapper, but you make fire beats. Like, I know I can't rap. I chose the marketing route.
Mm-hmm.
You don't see me in there, move out the way. Let me rap because y'all boys ain't understanding this. You don't see me in there. I don't like this beat. Give me them keys. Like that's what it is. Like people, they get mad at people and then they try to do it themselves. It's not gonna work like that. You gotta link with people. There's roles. Again, using another sports analogy, you have to get players that fit a championship formula to win a championship. Y'all
Yeah.
seeing it. Shout out to my Lakers. It didn't work when Bron tried to do everything. It didn't work in the playoffs.
Mm.
We needed AD to play defense and score some. We needed D'Lo to do this. We needed Austin Reeves to play his role. We needed Coach Ham to coach for real. It didn't work because it crashed because nobody. It didn't work. That's why teams don't win. It doesn't work. The organization. That's why they call it an organization. It has to be organized. Like you can build your brand and your music with that in mind. So yeah,
For sure. Thank you for sharing that because one of the modules in my program is establishing a supporting network. And you need that to and for it, it doesn't matter what industry you're in, you're going to need to have a supporting network. And as you progress, you pull other people along with you. So thank you for sharing that. I have my
right.
final question to you is as a manager and someone who focuses on the marketing, could you share how you helped an artist achieve their version of success?
I've helped. You want me to be honest?
Yeah, of course.
I've helped. I feel like I've helped all my artists reach their version of success because I start out by asking, "What does success look like for you?" And
Mm,
I go after that. So I go after that until it's done. That's the thing that I like about owning my own business and being able to set what I set and set the goals and the prices at the way that I want. In our first conversation, what do you need? What is success look like for you? Shout out
mhm,
to Kirk again. He's the one who he gave me that idea to ask that question because before I had a set way I would do my press run kits for artists. Anybody need press run kit? Is blogging, playlisting, interviews, content strategy, and I also have courses. So I would just do the stuff, send it to them, and then I have a couple people be like, "Hey, bro, that's it." Like, what do you mean that's it? I did this, I did that, and then I learned this too. They'll go, "Well, bro, I didn't even know you did all that." I said, "Yeah, because I'm working."
right.
I was like, I'll be like, look at the numbers, look at your email. Oh, bro. So now what I've incorporated is a weekly consultation so we can follow up. I've
Mm,
incorporated, hey, I've said because I come from that show me era.
mhm,
You don't talk me to death. Let me see it. So what I've learned is artists like that feel of feeling like they busy or they got something on their agenda. So I might do, hey, you got this today, or hey, I got this blog write up, or hey, remember you got this pod. Hey, you got this show. Remember that. Hey, just a reminder. Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you. Bet. Artists like that. I'm learning that. They like that feel. So I feel like every artist that I've dealt with, because I start off with that,
mhm,
uh, it's that other than you do have some that I'll use ungrateful. I've
mm,
had a few,
yeah.
and I'm not saying that as being entitled, because I'm not. I'm far from that. But I've had artists that have questioned my services. They've said, "How did you do that?" Nah, this don't seem. And I'm like, bro. what do you mean? Well, how did you get me on this? I'm only this. And I was like, bro, so you're really asking me how did I do something for you when you paid for the service for me to do it for you? So what do you mean? What do you mean by what you're asking? So, I've had a couple artists, only about one or two that have done that. Or, they've questioned, you know, uh like a placement. Like, how'd you place that song here? And I'm like, because this is a connection that I built through 6 years of doing this.
Right.
Or, and then this is because that's the thing too. And this is why I say I try to lead with the music, because I understand that now it's followers and numbers.
Mm-hmm.
When I write these things, I have a strategy in title for somebody to click on my email. And I always lean on what what this artist can do for you, or how good the song is. And I end with, if you want to check them out here. So, because it put, the first impression, it puts in your mind, I'm building the atmosphere for what to expect in my write up. You know what I'm saying? So it's that. So, it's all good, because I understand that, a lot of artists are told that, well, I only got this many followers, so I can't do this or I can't do that. That's not true. You're only as strong as what you believe.
Mm-hmm. That's a fact.
But yeah, so now I'm not saying don't try to grow now. Don't come to me with 50 followers and say, well, Dom, you just told Miss C it don't matter, because it do matter. Because I feel like when you do the stuff that we tell you to do, like post your music, get people to post about you, build your community, you're gonna organically grow from that. So
Mm.
yeah, so I'll say 99% success rate.
That sounds good to me.
Anybody that Yeah, so anybody and I won't take on something. Like, I've had people ask me to do stuff that I knew I couldn't do. Like,
How do
they'll
you
ask
address
for
that?
unbelievable, huh?
Now, how do you navigate that uncharted waters? How?
I've had artists ask, I've had artists ask for crazy stuff. I'll be honest. And, you got me giving out exclusives.
Oh,
I've
don't
had
give
an
away your
artist from
secret
overseas.
sauce now.
No, you good. I had an artist that offered me a management deal to book him uh in festivals. But what he was asking of me to do, as far as getting these things done, with him being I'm not going to name the country, but the country he was in, I don't have access to that knowledge. I could have said, yeah, it took the money, but I'm not like that. I can't do that.
Mhm.
Because then I can't sleep at night. I'm gonna be worried about trying to
Right.
figure this out for him, because that could damage my brand.
Mhm.
Like, it could be something as easy as somebody making a review. Like, Dom said he was gonna do this and he didn't do it. Like, I would be afraid of that. I'll be asleep and you could wake up to 1,000 comments of somebody like bashing you and you weren't able to catch it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's been stuff like that. Like, people have asked me to do stuff that I know, I was like, bro, I'm not gonna be able to do that. You and such and such. So I can't sell you, and I don't know you. I appreciate you because you looked at the work and you looked at the testimonials. Now, I'm not doubting that I can't do it, but in the amount of time that you want me to, I'm gonna have to learn it. Now, give me some time. Now I know that I need to learn that, because maybe there's somebody else thinking just like you and may ask that question in the future. Hey, can you do this? And now I can learn it.
Mhm.
I've had people ask me a day later, where are um shout out to Dorian, who I learned the game from, Dorian Clark. I literally had artists ask me where they million streams at after a day or two. I'm like, bro, because he had a course called How to Get a Million Streams on Spotify, and they knew that I worked with him. And it was in my testimonial, like, in my resume of who I worked with. I've literally had artists ask me, where's my million streams? Like, bro, what you mean? Like, I've had artists ask me that. Like, you got to get that course, and it tells you how to get it. You know what I'm saying? So I've had that happen before. Or
Hmm.
even my course. I have courses, and they ask, where is it at? I'm like, bro, are you listening or taking notes? I'm telling you exactly how to do it now. If you do it just like this and it doesn't work for you, I'm sorry, but I think if you follow these steps, it'll happen for you.
Yeah.
So, because what I know too, if I'm gonna get an education too, I'm gonna do it for you, and I'm gonna give you the education. So when you get the press run kits from me, and I do the blogging, and I do the playlisting, and I get you these interviews, and I get you these placements and these shows, I'm also going to give you the information in the game in the courses.
So you have
I'm
courses
going to
that
also tell
go.
you how I did it. Yeah, I have courses on how to grow your YouTube, how we got 1,000 subscribers in 30 days, how we create shorts that go viral, how to grow your Spotify. I have ebooks. I have all of that for the artists that I give everybody that gets a press run kit for me, that I give them how to make like how to content strategy, content rollout. I give them all of that. Directories, I get them all of that. So they can't ever say Dom didn't, because I could say, hey, let's go to this part of the course, or hey, that sheet I sent you, that's everything. Like that's kind of like a CYA thing.
Right. I was gonna say,
Yes,
um, I'm gonna need all of, not all of the, but give me a briefing, and share with the audience where they can find all the information about you, Shock the Culture, and Forever Hollins Management. If they're an independent
I have a
artist
website.
and they're looking to work
You can
with,
go to hey.
okay, go ahead.
I'm sorry. You can go to heydom803.com. You can go to my IG at heydom803. Everything is there in my bio. My links, my courses. You can set up a free consultation. We could talk. You tell me where you are in your career or where you want to go, and we'll get you there. All that is on my Instagram at heydom803. Um, my courses, my press run kits, the blogs, the interviews, book a show, everything is there for you to go and get it. My testimonials for the clients that I've dealt with, or still dealing with, are pinned at the top of my Instagram and my TikTok. It's all there. So, shot the Culture TV. We just hit 2 million views. Okay?
Oh,
Um,
that's cool. Is that
our
on
page is
YouTube?
only
Where is
yeah,
that hosted so that people
yeah.
can know?
Shot shot the Culture TV on YouTube. We just hit two
Okay.
million views today. Our page has only been up for a year, so that's a lot of grinding.
Yes.
Over 720 videos uploaded. We got a formula. We post content every day on there. So we got a course on that. But yeah, at Shot the Culture TV, at Forever Hollins Management, at Hey Dom 803. We trying to take over the world. That's really what we're trying to do.
I know that's
We
right.
trying to take it over by trying to be solid. Like, we understand there's a lot of fake stuff that's going on, and we always gonna stand on being, you know, solid. You always gonna remember who was solid, who was real with you. And in this world of fake, where everybody faking, you gonna remember. You know what I'm saying? And I know we went quite jokey on this, but you know, it. I'm gonna keep that joke to myself. I was about to say something, but
No, go ahead. We can leave
I was
out
about
with
to
that
say something.
joke.
No, 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 no. I was about to say a joke, but Look, they might try to get me out of here for that joke.
Oh,
I'm gonna
okay.
keep it to
Well, no,
myself.
we want to be here. We don't want to be.
Yeah. That's it.
So
I'm
is
just say
that
we gonna remember the real in the room full of fakes.
you're gonna
I'll say
always
that. So
remember
whatever you want to gather from that, we gonna
that's gonna
remember the
be the
real.
show title. You're gonna always remember the real. I think that's a
Remember the
perfect place to put a pin in it. Everyone, take care. Thank you, D. Hollins, for spending some time with me
problem.
today. Hopefully we can get you back again because I want to get into the 360 deals and all of that other stuff and what that stuff means because the
Yeah,
individual artists out there who are up and coming may not know. So hopefully we'll get a chance to have you.
right.
With that, everyone, take care. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. You hang on because I'm gonna send you off, right? But everyone else, take care. Have a good afternoon.